He's like, no, it's funny. He's like, first of all, it's funny that this has happened to me multiple times. Second of all, it's funny of how many white people I know after knowing me for a little bit, like, hey, like we've been friends for a long time, right? And he's always just responds like, no, you cannot tell me I'm an N-word. Like, oh, come on, but like it's been a while. Sometimes he's like, no, like how is it acceptable? Like, oh, also I'm like, oh, we've been friends for 3 months. It's totally okay for me to say I hate black people now. Like, no, that's never acceptable.
That's awesome. I do have to tell you something though, Steven.
Oh, all right.
Um, your shoelace thing.
Yeah.
I started doing it as well.
It's awesome, right?
So I started this about 2 weeks ago. I didn't want to bring it up last week because I wanted to see how long it could go. So shoelace came done, and I'm like, screw it. I'm not gonna tie it up. I'm gonna see what happens. 2 weeks go by, and then last Thursday I was at a meeting with my superintendents, and one of them commented on it, and I just looked down and looked back up at them, and I'm like, thanks for noticing. Walked off.
I love it. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, it was great. As well, we do have a special guest for tonight.
Oh.
Finally emerged from Lord Jabu Jabu's belly. We've got the one and only Ben James.
I'm back, baby, and hotter than ever.
Back in
I've
black.
got a sweet ass tan.
If you want to call that a tan, please.
When Alex and I met at the gym today, I noticed he had a sick tan too because he's been working outside a lot. I'm like, damn, I went to Africa and you're darker than I am.
I noticed you didn't comment on my sick sunburn.
I didn't notice. You have a sick sunburn?
Yeah, it's actually already starting to fade, so that's nice. But like, maybe this lighting's just bad for it. But yeah, like up and down the top of my arms is just burned.
Why?
Him sitting in a pink chair doesn't help either.
Yeah.
The sunburn.
I went to Alex's rugby game, and for
Oh.
that 2-3 hours I was outside.
That's right.
I turned crispy.
I heard a little bit about this game, or as much as I really need to, on the podcast because I listen to our podcast.
Good.
Yeah,
One of the few.
that's true. Oh, it was cool being like that's the first time I've.
Not been on. And,
That is the first time
Yeah.
I've not been on. First 2 times, you could say. First 2 weeks.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the first one though.
No.
Yeah, it was good. Rugby game was good, and we're kind of glad you were gone. You know, took a nice little detour break, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I completely fucked it all up, but whatever. We put out an episode.
For anyone joining us for the first time, welcome to Hastlecast,
Oh yeah,
episode 26.
yeah. Who's hosting tonight? You back hosting?
I'll host.
I figured Ben would host, but I was like, oh shoot, I don't know if I should just like bring this up
I
like
don't know.
slyly and just
Steven's
edit that part
hosting.
out.
Woo!
But no, I don't want to host.
Oh, fine.
Steven would be a terrible host.
I would. Ben would forever be in my shadow if I hosted one episode.
No. I'll host.
Steven's such a bad host that even the alien wouldn't become a parasite inside him.
Wah, wah.
I was gonna say that kind of fell flat. Nice.
I liked it, but just like the setup for it, I was like, where's it going? Then my repairs, I was like, oh, that's kind of clever. Yeah. Okay, great. That was clever. I liked it. It was good.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Speaking of aliens,
Do we care about who's on? Do we say names?
okay, we'll do that quick, and then we'll talk about aliens.
Way to blow being a host.
Okay.
Yeah, God, you're dropping the ball.
I'll
man.
do a full
First
proper.
episode back, and you've already dropped the ball.
All right, well, let's pick this ball back up. We'll do a proper, generic Hastlecast intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hastlecast podcast. I am hosting, as I rightfully should be. My name is Ben. Tonight we have...
Steven,
And Alex.
There you go.
Perfect.
Aliens.
how much? Actually, one more quick aside then, aliens. How much of that intro are you gonna keep in?
Probably the whole thing.
Okay, cool.
So aliens. I actually saw Alien Covenant in London while I was there.
Really?
Yeah, the hotel had its own private theater in the basement, and I went and watched it with Sarah's stepdad. It was just the two of us in the theater. We had drinks. We had Alien Covenant. It was dope.
Nice.
But I have never seen Prometheus, which apparently is like a pretty much must need to do.
Yeah.
And I've only seen the first 2 Alien movies and basically slept through the third one. So, yeah,
Awesome.
I probably ruined the experience, but I'm not too jazzed about it or razzed about it.
Prometheus was good, and then Covenant did follow quite closely to Prometheus.
Well, apparently Covenant makes Prometheus better, which makes me want to watch Prometheus now.
Absolutely, it does.
So, because it does that.
Unless it was supposed to be like Kill Bill, because Kill Bill was supposed to come out in one part, like 4 hours long. but Tarantino was told that he couldn't release that. So that could be the same thing as Prometheus and Covenant.
Could be.
So they had to split it up.
I remember watching Kill Bill one time with a friend because he loved the movie. He's like, great movie. You have to watch it. It's a must-see.
It's a great movie, yeah.
Yeah, and then we started watching it, and I just got so, like, zoned out and depressed and couldn't really follow it because I was younger, I guess. But I'm like, this movie sucks. Let's watch something else. And he was so disappointed. It's just like, oh, it's like when you show somebody a YouTube video that you think's really funny, but nobody laughs at it, and you're like, no, wait, the good part's coming up.
Just wait.
Yeah, but I basically flat out told him I didn't like it. I gotta try watching it again, I think.
Please do. Kill Bill is a dope movie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how was Africa? How was Europe? How was traveling for the first time?
It was good. I don't have much
Great.
to say about it.
Okay.
I'm
Like
kidding.
how you
Fair
don't.
I'm kidding. I have like 3 podcasts worth of stories.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, this is part 1.
What do you want to know?
Episode 26, part 1.
Talk to us about your flight out there.
So the flight out there was relatively diarrhea free.
That's good.
Darn.
Right? If only. If only.
I do have a diarrhea story.
Wait, Ben and I were in the gym and we were talking about this, and he's like, if you'd have did that, it would have been the worst thing to have happened to me while on the flight. But if you told me afterwards that it was from you, he would have thought it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, if it was from me?
No, from me doing it to him.
Okay.
If I was to tell him like after the fact.
So for future reference, we're allowed to do it then.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Ben's giving us the all clear.
For current reference, in the previous episode, you guys talked about how it would be an awesome prank if you like put laxatives in me before my flight, so I just had mad diarrhea on the 8-hour flight out there. And you're like, no, I don't think he'd go for it. I think he'd be super pissed off. But when Alex and I talked today, I would have been pissed off until I knew that you guys had done it, and then I would have appreciated that prank. that would have been a lot of work and very crafty.
It was one of the things I tell Sarah. It's like get her to tell Ben. It's like, oh yeah, it happens to certain people. Like they reach a certain altitude or fly for too long. It just naturally happens to certain people's bodies. They can't handle the pressure change or something. Just to, like try and play it off as much as we can.
Well, traveler's diarrhea is a thing, so I
like
wouldn't have been
Montezuma's
surprised.
Revenge is a thing.
What?
Montezuma's Revenge.
I don't know
the reference.
It's like if you travel through South America, Montezuma, which is like, I want to say he was a god there, and he passed away because as all gods do, passed away. Then he came back and he like gave the Spaniards who invaded like horrible diarrhea and like made them really sick. And the natives there went and killed them all.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
there's something like that.
That's ridiculous. That's
History, man, is written by the victors.
Yeah.
And those with diarrhea.
Exactly. Diarrhea story.
Okay, so eating the local cuisine of certain places I was in.
In London, right?
What's that?
In London, having the curry.
No, I didn't have any curry in London.
But you were in England, though.
I was in England.
Curry is big in England?
Oh God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's
Curry's
basically-
big in Alex. He loves it.
Curry's
Yeah.
delicious.
Well,
But it's coming down to the point that curry is almost bigger in England than fish and chips is.
Really?
Kind of deal. Yeah.
I had fish and chips in a
Okay.
pub.
In a pub, did you get in like a wicker basket with newspaper in it?
Yes.
Champion.
And then Sarah's other, like her mom and stuff, got what are they called? They're
Shepherd's pie.
what?
Shepherd's pie.
No, they're
Meat pie.
yes. They were
Really?
meat pies,
Brilliant.
but they had like a selection of them.
Okay.
And then I had a London Pride beer. It was
Ooh.
delicious.
Fancy.
This has nothing to do with my diarrhea story.
No.
But eating some of this cuisine, like, it gives you the runs sometimes it doesn't. But when we were in Venice, we ate at this one place, and I had the runs earlier in the day, but it wasn't a big deal. Like, it happens, and then it's done, and then you're fine for the rest of the day. But we went to this semi-fancy restaurant. They had a big, like, floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the Grand Canal, and part of the dessert was a smoked meringue. So there was a little bit of meringue, like, in a meringue pie or something, and they smoke it, like they char it almost, so it's just this blackened sort of thing. And apparently it's like this big delicacy. Falls apart like charcoal powder or something. And they serve it to you in this little glass bulb with a little hole on it that's covered in saran wrap to keep all the smoke in. And then they serve it to you and they pull the saran wrap off and the smoke just sort of pours out and you're supposed to just eat it like that.
Oh.
The problem is it gives you incredibly black teeth So like there, Sarah took a picture of me after I'd eaten it. I might have the photo somewhere, but my teeth are like almost solid black eating this stuff. And it went along with this dark chocolatey berry sort of black thing. So all these black things. That night, I took a shit, and when I wiped and looked, I just about fainted. Like it was wet and it was black. Like,
Oh,
and I got really worried. I'm like, is this some sort of like traveler's
die?
diarrhea thing? Is this Montezuma's revenge? Because
oh
like
God.
it's the Black Plague, and
You just immediately run out with your pants around your ankles, like, you guys, check it out.
I need an adult. Somebody help me.
well, like I wiped and I looked, and I'm like, oh, that kind of looks weird. And I got up, and when I turned around and looked in the bowl, I just about screamed.
Wait, was it like one of the kind of shits where it's like you sit down, you like pass gas, and it just all comes out at once?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it was like, and I know this is graphic, but it was almost like if you had just taken very liquidy tar and just threw it at the toilet. Like that's what it looked like. So I got rid of it, as you do with the toilet, and I was a little bit worried about it. I'm like, okay, we'll see how things go, but I'll just pretend everything's normal. But and I ended up Googling it. I'm like, what does it mean when you have black shits? and the internet told me that it means you probably have internal bleeding. Because they're like,
Did you go like WebMD?
It wasn't WebMD, but it was a similar site.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah,
Yahoo Answers.
they're like
Perfect.
black
Ask.com.
poo. If it's red poo, that means that in your lower intestines you have bleeding and the blood is coming out in your poo. If you have black poo, it means your upper intestines and like stomach and stuff, there's internal bleeding and it's actually getting digested, and that's why it comes out black.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. I'm gonna die in Venice. But it was I
I
discovered
always
it was
knew
just,
I'd die in Venice, just like the gypsy ladies told me.
it was but it was mildly concerning for the night, and like the next morning when I went and took another black shit, I'm like, fuck, I might have to go to a hospital or something. I didn't tell anybody,
Okay.
and
about to ask.
my next shit was nice and brown, still a little liquidy, but it was okay.
That's good.
So yeah, that's my diarrhea story from my trip. Oh man, I was legitimately concerned. I'm googling shit and I'm just like, I'm gonna die. I have
Well,
cancer.
you were
in my
literally
stomach.
Googling shit.
Yeah.
I like how your teeth becoming apparently pitch black isn't like a sign to like, oh, my teeth were black earlier. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. It just immediately jumps to like, I'm dying. It's
Yeah.
over.
I
Like,
have AIDS now.
Yeah. Well, I was
like, what's the time frame between these incidents of you eating this and you?
So we ate it, and it was nighttime, like 8 p.m. or whatever. And I think I noticed the shits the next morning. And like we had a couple drinks that night and stuff, and like not too many so that I would lose memory.
So this
but
isn't like 40 minutes later you walk back to your hotel. It's like, you quickly use the washroom and you're
No, like,
panicking.
I fully digested that meal, and then it didn't come out like a poo should. It
And,
didn't
like,
come out solid.
7 pints of cider didn't help it either.
No.
Oh.
No, not really. I didn't drink a whole lot of cider while I was there.
Really?
I had a bit of cider in Morocco, and it was delicious. But yeah, it was good. And I think on the previous podcast, I kind of outlined what the trip was, like where I was going.
Believe so?
But I was wrong. So I was right about London and flying from London to Marrakesh, but we spent almost zero time in Marrakesh. We basically were just there for the airport, and we landed and then drove in a like shuttle van sort of thing for 3 hours straight to a town called Essaouira, which when you say it with a French accent actually sounds correct, but I'm not French, and that
You don't want
country
to
is
just
French.
try it?
What?
You don't want to try and pronounce it with one?
No.
Oh.
I don't know how to say sank, so it's fine.
Fair enough.
That's a callback. So Essaouira is like it's like a beach town, you could say, very popular for tourism, and our resort was like 10 minutes away from it, but so we were there, and then we ended up we were there for the wedding, and we ended up having to drive 3 hours back to Marrakesh so that we could fly to Casablanca. And then we spent the night in Casablanca, but didn't really do anything. Like, we didn't see the city or anything. and then went from Casablanca to Venice. So when I said we were going to be in Marrakesh and Casablanca in Morocco, that is the least amount of time we spent in Morocco. Like we spent 4 days in Essaouira and almost no time in the other places.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you try surfing or paddleboarding or anything while you're on the beach?
No, we didn't do any sort of like beach sports. We did spend a day at the beach and played like beach volleyball and stuff on the
Okay.
sand. But yeah, it was really cool going into the water. But they didn't want us to go out more than like 30 or 40 meters because the waves were getting pretty big and they didn't want people to get sucked down under
Was
the
there a
waves.
riptide as well?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And we were pretty close to some cliffs that the waves were like bashing against.
Yeah.
So they just wanted to play it safe, I think,
Okay.
especially in a place like that. But it was nice because they had they brought in some local musicians to play guitar, and they had a bunch of little tents set up with an open bar and some food and volleyball and the beach, and
Sweet.
it was great.
And the 4-day wedding went good?
The 4-day wedding was awesome. It was like themed days, and basically the wedding parts of the days happened only in the evenings, and the rest of the time you could basically do whatever you wanted. And the resort had like these sign-up sheets for different activities you could do in the town.
Okay.
So you could like ride camels or like we took quads out on the beach and over some of the sand dunes and stuff, so that was pretty sweet. And just other like you can ask the resort to send a shuttle and they'll take you into town and you can do whatever you want. Go for lunch in town, go shop, stuff like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You rode some camels though?
Yeah. So
They're stubborn bastards, aren't they?
yeah, and I'm going to come back to this later in the episode.
Okay.
But yeah, they are disgusting.
Yep.
Like they're horrible creatures. But
Would you say they're worse than like cattle?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Picture a horse, but like also it's also like a pig. Like it's as gross as a pig, but it functions like a horse. That was probably like the most intense time, not the camels, but the being in Essaouira for the wedding, just because of like how much freaking dancing we did.
Yeah.
Because every night was a party, right? Like they had live music, they had a DJ, they had meals and stuff. Everything was themed. Like there was the first night was like sailor themed, so we got all these little sailor hats. And then there was an Italian night where we got these Italian hats and scarves and stuff.
By that, do you mean just a fedora?
An Italian hat? No, it was like one of the gondola rider hats. It's like a straw hat that's like flat on the top.
Oh, is that like your TV mogul look you sent us? Like
Yes.
the hat, like the scarf and stuff. I was like,
Yes.
dude, you look like some guy like almost of Hollywood or something. Just
Yeah.
coming through, like flexing on people.
Yeah, man. So we got those hats, and it was funny because that night there was the sort of like cocktail party at the end with all the dancing was right beside one of the pools in the resort, which, you know, once you hit 1 or 2 a.m. and the music's going, people are going in that pool. And I like nobody had gone in quite yet, and it was like midnight-ish, and I decided to go to the bathroom, and I come back and there's like 6 people in the pool. I'm like, oh, what happened here? And I actually got to, like, as I showed up, the groom got thrown in, so it was kind of nice to see that. But Sarah's stepdad had just come out of the water, and I go up to him, I'm like, Eric, what's the matter with you? I leave for 5 minutes and you can't, like, you're soaking wet. Can't take care of yourself? And he just grabbed me and threw me in the water. And when he threw me in, my nice Italian hat got drenched, and it turned into more of a Moroccan hat, like just a typical straw hat. I have it, I think, somewhere.
Okay.
But so it was fine, and we just continued doing what we were doing. I was all soaked, and then I noticed, before I was thrown in the water, I was wearing glasses, and now I am not. And I'm like, shit, my glasses are in the pool somewhere. So their stepdad's in there with me, and I tell him, and we're looking around, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to lift up my feet because I don't want to step on them. And as I say that, I step on them. And they,
Brilliant.
like, we found them, we got them out, and they were completely mangled. Like,
Wow.
one of the arms on my glasses was like perpendicular to the other arm, and like the nose bridge support things were all bent out of shape, and one of the lenses was like almost popped out. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter because they're cheapo glasses, so it like inexpensive is not a big deal. I can just replace them. And he's like, well, if they're inexpensive, you can probably just bend them back into shape, which is exactly what I did, and it turned out all right.
Is that the pair you're wearing right now?
Yes, yeah, it's just my regular pair of glasses, my day to days.
So you didn't take a spare pair or anything then?
Nope. I had a shit ton of contact lenses there though, so
Okay.
worst comes to worst, I can make do.
Yeah.
How did you find the heat? Like, were you able to manage well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The heat was actually pretty pleasant, especially in Morocco, because during the day it was always 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and during the nights it was closer to like 15 to 20. So like warm, like
Okay, so it's not like outrageously.
no, it wasn't outrageous at all. And like some nights with dinner, because all of the not all, but all the places that we ate were outside. And sometimes it was like just too chilly that you did need to put a sweater on, especially if there was wind and such. But yeah, it was funny because the people at the resort promised no rain, and I'm like, that's an interesting promise to make because there's a lot of wind and a lot of rain clouds above us, and we're like, should we go inside? And like, nope, no rain, we promise. Didn't rain. It's like,
Awesome.
Man, you guys can control the weather and everything. This place is great.
What you're saying is the Moroccans can take David Spence's job.
Yes, they can do that.
Right.
Who's David Spence?
He's a meteorologist for one of the news stations here.
Yes.
CTV, he's pretty famous.
Yeah. He's
Well,
kind of a big deal.
I was among the Calgary area, people
Yeah.
know his name, but
Well, I'll put it this way. He used to have a dope mustache, but now he doesn't have the mustache anymore.
I remember that.
Yep.
He
you
shaved.
don't remember who he is.
No, I do. It was for the listeners.
Oh, okay, I got you.
CTV. That's is that a national thing or a Calgary thing? The news station.
My understanding, they are a national brand, but every city will have their own
Okay.
crew.
Okay, I see. So was David Spence for Calgary or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was curious because like Justin's probably listening, so I'm like, well, I wonder if Justin knows who David Spence is, but he
I don't know,
might not.
man. They might not have Morinville on the Weather Channel.
Let us know, Justin.
Yeah, I doubt there's a CTV Morinville branch.
CTV Morinville.
Oh, man.
Every day it rains.
Covers the 30 people who have news that week.
Yeah.
It's only on in the morning.
Morning. Oh man, I'm saving a camel story for I have a safe word
Okay.
that is
Perfect.
camel related ish.
Right.
Oh.
That's what I've been doing. I've been finding some more. I do have a thing to go and amaze about your brother.
Okay.
The
Which brother?
one that you live with, Nick.
Okay.
If you can see behind me, because I can't really turn around right now, there's a cable plugged into an outlet running past the bathroom, up the stairs, and underneath his door into his bedroom. Because he doesn't have enough plugs in his room, I guess.
Wait, is that plug? Does it go into the wall there?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Because that might be an Ethernet cord that he's run all the way over into the living room.
Oh, that's what it is.
That might be what it is. He built a new computer this past week for his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he has a custom URL, but just look up Professor Adventure.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, bastard. But I think that might just be an Ethernet cord.
Okay, that would explain what it is. I saw it running under the table, and I assumed it was plugged into the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's a freaking long cable.
Yeah. Are you ready? Do you want to bang out safe word now?
Sure, I'll bang out some safe words.
Okay, so safe word is the part of the show where we take terms and definitions off of Urban Dictionary, and we don't take definitions. I'm stupid. We take terms and sentences off of Urban Dictionary and give our best shot at defining them. Alex has got a bunch, but I brought one from overseas, and it's not from Urban Dictionary.
It's imported.
It's imported.
I wonder if that'd be an interesting twist if somebody reads out definition, maybe else let's try to guess the defining word.
We could do that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We could do that.
I don't know. Might be an interesting twist. We might have to try it first off air, see if it's actually good or.
I might have
We
a
don't
couple.
try things off air. What's wrong with you?
Alex and I had to try a lot off air to get this thing running for 2 weeks, and it only still worked 40% of the time.
Oh.
Yep.
That's why you don't try it off air. You just do it. We'll do it live.
Oh yeah. Do you want to do it right now? Because we can do it right now. I got a couple.
Well, it's just introduced, so probably
Do-
now.
Do it right now. All right. Your definition is to be fully or completely empty.
It is after you take a very large dump.
No, you got to
No,
give
no,
the
you
term,
gotta give
dude.
the word.
Oh, we're actually doing that. Oh.
What did you think we were doing?
You give the word and then we give the definition.
No, but you just said to do it the other way,
No, I said I suggested something we could do. I didn't say we
and I
should.
said we should do it.
Okay.
So now we're
Yeah,
doing
Alex literally said he's just like, well, should we do it? And you're like, well, yeah, we just.
No, I thought you
basically
meant
find
you
it.
should do safe word, in which case I said yes.
Oh. This is why we don't do things live, you idiots.
it. This is just why we don't listen to Steven.
You should always listen to me. My audio worked last week.
Oh.
You shut your whole mouth.
As the executive producer, I'm gonna bring my term before things get weird here.
All right.
All right. Dromedary.
Dromedary.
That means to be completely empty?
No. We're getting away from emptiness here.
What are we doing? So dromedary is your word, and we're defining it.
Yes.
No, but that's the definition. Oh, I get what your imported word is dromedary.
My imported word is dromedary.
Perfect.
Sorry, did I fuck something up here?
I thought dromedary was your guess for the word for to be completely empty.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just like,
Yeah.
what does that have to do with being empty?
That's what I thought as well.
Okay.
Okay, so we're doing words and we define them.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Let's just do that. It's gonna save us a whole lot of headaches.
Okay.
We'll just do regular safe word.
Okay, sure, fine.
Okay.
Be like
I call first guess on Alex's first word.
that. Okay, fine.
Dromedary, though.
Dromedary.
Dromedary.
I'm just gonna look it up quick just to make sure I have it right.
It's when you have a bunch of dairy cows and they drone on all the time. Like continuously moo and moo and moo.
Wouldn't that be dronedary then?
It's in Morocco, so that's what the M stands for. They're Moroccan buttermilk cows. Or dairy cows, whatever you want to call them. Buttermilk cows. There you go.
Okay.
Dromedary. You said earlier it had to do with camels.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. So I'm gonna go off that and hope you weren't lying to me. Dromedary. It's kind of a play off of legendary. So it's like a status position among camels. So if you are the dromedary camel, you're the dumb one of the group. And it's like all the other camels don't want to be around you because you always have your tongue out.
You're the
and
Rudolph.
You smell bad, and nobody likes you. Except then you find out that all camels are actually dromedary because they're all disgusting animals.
Yeah. Okay.
But all the camels think they're above each other, so they think everybody else is dromedary other than themselves.
I see. So a dromedary is a type of camel that is lighter and swifter
Oh,
and has one hump.
interesting.
So if you see what looks like a camel that has one hump, it's actually not a camel, it's a dromedary.
Interesting.
A camel has two humps. And dromedaries they're also known as Arabian camels, but every time we said, "Hey, we're going to go ride on the camels," they're like, "No, they're not camels. They're dromedaries." I'm like, "What a fucking stupid name for an animal." But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So we didn't ride camels. And I kind of, like earlier, I kind of said we did just to save that word. But anyway,
What do you call a group of camels, Ben?
you call a group of camels a hump fest.
A hump fest.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven, for the steal.
I'm gonna say a clump.
A clump of camels.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Oh.
Apparently, it's actually a caravan of camels.
Oh,
Well,
I
I think I know that one.
think
That
I
actually
did
sounds
know
familiar.
that. It just I can't access my brain sometimes.
We'll get back to safe word. I was at the zoo recently, and on the plaque we were looking at the giraffes, and it said what a grouping of giraffes was called. So what's a group of giraffes called?
A clump.
Dromedary.
Perfect. It's called a towers of giraffes.
A what?
Towers.
A towers?
Yeah, it's weird because grammar.
Huh.
I don't think the A needs to be in there. I think it's just towers of giraffes.
Yeah. So a towers of giraffe went by.
Well, okay, a tower.
But if there's a bunch of them, a tower is singular.
One tower is a group of camels. Not camels. One tower is a group of giraffes, and grammatically you can say that towers went by, meaning multiple groups.
Okay.
That's what I would assume. I'm looking at you right now, Alex, and you look like a Morton Joe from Mad Max because of how the mic and the suspension mount is covering your face and there's wires coming out everywhere. I just see your two beady little eyes sticking out of this freaking contraption on your face.
The fact that you can remember his name is incredible.
I watched the movie recently.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
All right, movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
Just all right. I was gonna say I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah? No, I don't know. From what I remember of it, it was pretty good.
I never saw the previous Mad Maxes.
Julian would have slapped you.
Well,
he loves the movies.
After seeing the newest one, I'd say don't go back.
okay. I'm not missing much.
They're old,
I see.
and the new one's really good. So it's like,
A group of giraffes is called a tower, apparently.
Yes, you told us we had an argument about
but
it.
not towers, which is what I thought it was. I asked something
So I
else.
was right?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks,
up.
Morton Joe.
I aim to please. Your safe word. The next one. What is a crotch dropping?
Something about being open and whatever. Or are you not doing that one now? I guess. Makes sense. Okay. A crotch dropping?
Thank you, Ben.
Sometimes I have conversations with myself and I just sort of figure it out by talking. A crotch dropping, and I'm totally not stalling, is... You know what? You go ahead, Steven. I'll be polite and let you go first.
Smooth.
okay, I do need to ask: is the to be fully empty one still in there? Or did you find a new one?
This is a different word.
Okay.
Or it's still in there. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's still in there. It can be like a bonus word.
Okay, bonus definition.
All right, so maybe we should guess the word for that one.
Yeah, okay, we'll do
you
that.
wanna do that?
We'll do that.
Do you want to do that one first?
No, we've
No,
already
it's
started with...
Crotch dropping. Oh, okay. So it's after. It's usually something that happens to men. Maybe happens to girls too. I don't know. But after you go and take a leak, and there's always that little bit extra of after you put back on like your underwear, boxers, or whatever, that drips out afterwards.
Do you not shake?
You stir? Shaken, not stirred?
I can say on good authority, and that authority being Reddit, that apparently does not work for people.
Shaking?
Yeah.
Really?
That they say there's always a little bit left at the end, like no matter how much you try.
That's because you're not like... Okay,
So you aren't mixing paint with you trying to shake.
Are you guys not like squeezing it out?
Yeah, you're supposed to like shake it like a bottle of ketchup and just like...
Yeah, and just smack it against the wall.
Hit the back of it a little bit. Shake it up.
Yeah, you gotta get the guy next to you to start slapping your ass to try and get the last of it.
I won't say his last name. I hope you guys will remember him. Do you guys remember Nathan?
Yeah.
Yeah. He went to our elementary school and junior high school with us, Alex. That was a joke from him where he said some girl was giving a hand job for the first time. The guy's like, no, you're doing it wrong. Like, think of it like a bottle of ketchup. She's like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like you're trying to get the last drops of ketchup out.
It's funny because ketchup bottles have their own pre-cum. You know that like... When
What the...
Like when
Ketchup bottles have their own...
Yeah.
The best part is Ben's not wrong. I know exactly what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
like when you go to like...
I would have not described it that way, though.
What?
Don't you shake it first?
Ketchup?
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes it still happens. And like you
I like how
Don't we all have that problem?
I like how the pink thing. It's like if you shake it first, it always works. And with ketchup, it's like that never works.
But no, like you know how you squeeze a little bit and like it's just liquid instead of like substance.
You sure you're talking about ketchup?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, Ben.
Back
Don't
to
worry.
the shaking for drips conversation, and I will give you my definition soon.
And you sure you aren't stalling still?
Yeah, no, I did come up with one. We'll just see if I can remember it in a second here.
Okay.
But do you guys not like sometimes have to like pinch at the base and squeeze it out? Does that ever happen to you guys?
I've never known if there's any in there for me to be like, oh, this is a pincher. No, it's true. I just do my business. Like, it'd be like, okay, like that seems like all of it to me, and then I wash my hands and go about my day.
Sometimes when like if you've swallowed something large and it's created a pressure inside of you?
No.
Sometimes I feel that in my penis. Like there's a pressure inside, and it's like to get it out, it's a pincher. You gotta pinch at the base and.
Are you sure you don't have like kidney stones or anything?
I'm sure, because those are incredibly painful. And sometimes you gotta like do it on the gooch a little bit.
Oh, you gotta rub your prostate a little.
Sometimes you do.
Dude,
That's how you avoid those burning pee sensations.
I'm sorry, I've never had that. Or who knows, maybe I have, I just didn't know what to do. Now I'll know.
Yeah,
You'll know for next time.
Yeah.
it's a thing you can do, man.
Do you ever do that in public? You're standing at the urinal like, oh, this is a gooch tickler.
It's like
You,
one of
you
those.
gotta announce it to everybody as well.
It's like one of those like lunch yogurt pack tubes. Ugh.
Those were awesome commercials back in the day.
Yeah.
Tubes.
Oh man. Okay, my definition for what was it again?
Crotch dropping.
Okay, yeah, it's just another. It's real simple. It's just another definition of a teabag, like teabagging in Halo. The action.
Okay.
You're just crotch dropping that crotch right on their probably crotch.
You're dropping crotch to crotch.
Sure.
Okay.
Drop it to crotch like it's hot. You know.
Do you ever have to give the other person a pincher?
It's called a pinch dropping, that one.
If you can squat, you're like dropping your crotch right. You don't need to pinch. You can just work those muscles.
Interesting.
All right, what is it?
It's apparently a child or infant who is the bane of child-free people everywhere.
Oh.
Refers to loud, smarty, asshole brats named Connor, Peter, and Brittany, who have usually been birthed by clueless dipshit parents.
I've heard that called crotch monsters instead.
So it's like the worst possible result of genitals
Mhm.
cooperating.
Kids in
I'm
general.
sure like herpes or like gonorrhea or something like that would be like a bad result of genitals. Sorry, changing topics. When you were in Morocco and like on your trip, did you have to go to like any of the squatty potties? Was that a thing, or were they all like proper flush toilets?
Oh, everything was proper flush.
Okay.
Yeah, there were bidets in Italy though,
Ooh.
so those were interesting.
Have you ever used a bidet before? Or did you use one in Italy?
I couldn't figure it out.
Did you like the pulse jet setting? Is that your favorite?
It didn't have that. It was just like what it looked like was picture a regular sink just at toilet height.
Yep.
That's what it looked like. It had like a faucet essentially.
Wait, isn't the bidet attached to the toilet?
It
can be.
But this one was separate, just next to the toilet.
Oh, okay.
You can actually like order online or whatever, just buy inserts if you have I think it's a Toto toilet. Which is funny because Africa. Anyway,
Hilarious.
yeah, I know. So like I saw this bidet and I'm like, I really want to try this thing. Like it's all the rage apparently, and it's much more cleanly than using toilet paper. But I didn't understand how to use it, so naturally I went to Google. So
Instead of asking anybody.
And you still had your tabs about the black poops from the night before. You're like, oh yeah.
Or was this to wash out the black poo?
I will note that the black poo Googling did happen in incognito mode. Just for safety.
Of course.
But bidet, no, that's less embarrassing, but still too embarrassing to ask about. And every picture of a bidet I looked at, in the basin of the sink, sort of towards the front, there was a little like jet or something. And I looked in our bidet and it wasn't there. I'm like, how in the world am I supposed to make this faucet touch my butthole, right? Like, I'm not sure how to work this thing. And
It's not supposed to touch your butthole. It's not supposed to be right next to it.
well, no, the things it makes are supposed to touch my butthole. The water.
Insert the jet carefully into your
Exactly.
butthole.
Oh God, 1,000 ways to die. But we were having dinner and
High-powered water just tears through your stomach lining or something.
yeah, we were having dinner and Sarah's stepdad asked if we had tried the bidet. I'm like, no, I couldn't figure it out. And he's just like, oh, you got to aim it. Like the tip of the faucet nozzle or whatever, it's adjustable. I'm like, oh, okay. I go to look at it, and its two adjustments are straight down and straight forward, and I'm just like there's no up, there's no I couldn't how do I position
And you
my
didn't, go on your hands and bend over backwards trying to get it.
do a backwards handstand
Yeah,
walking
exactly.
back towards it?
I'm imagining Ben just be like, Sarah, come help me with the bidet. I can't figure it out.
I ended up never figuring it out.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
You said you can get attachment bidets.
Yeah.
Can you also get attachment pinchers or gooch ticklers when you have a little bit of...
Oh, that's got to be a thing.
Why would you do that when you have perfectly good hands?
What if you don't have hands?
Why get a bidet if you have perfectly good hands?
Find a very dedicated girlfriend.
What if you never saw Jean Lajoie's video about hands and their many uses?
I may have not seen that.
It's a good video. We'll watch it after this.
Okay, cool.
Your next safe word is nose tackle.
Another word for tongue punching the dirt star, pretty much. Shoving your nose right up somebody's rectum.
We talked about how Alex likes to do that, get his nose right into it. That's the title of a previous episode.
It is.
I don't think it was up somebody's anus, though, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
It was up somebody's vagina.
Ah.
You're correct. Nose what?
Tackle.
Tackle.
Nose tackle. That is actually, I think, a football term
Really?
or something, like a position.
Nose tackle.
Yeah, like that. It's like the lead something or something in the line with the sports. That's not my guess, though. I think that's what it actually is.
Okay. You sure you don't want to guess what it actually is?
I'll try to guess what it actually is. A nose tackle is when you encounter a smell that is so bad it like pushes you back because you're in shock, right?
Okay.
It's like almost getting a tackle or getting tackled by a pungent odor. That's my guess.
Like the black poops.
They didn't smell. They were just horrifying to look at.
Fair enough. Steven? Sorry, you did. Tongue punch in the dirt star.
Yeah, with your nose.
Yeah, with the nose.
Nose punch in the dirt star.
Like a woodpecker stabbing holes in wood.
Repeatedly and very fast.
A woodpecker stabbing holes in a darker hole.
Pretty much. The nose tackle is a winning play in the fart game. To fart in someone's general direction on purpose, literally to fart in someone's face.
Oh, I see.
So I think Ben was right.
So it's like the spleen from Mystery Men.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you ever see that movie?
No, can't say I'm familiar.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
The movie about misfit heroes, wannabes, and the spleen was one of these people, and he had like powerful directional farts, and he could like knock people unconscious just by aiming his butt at them.
Ben Stiller was the Hulk in it.
Yeah, he was kind of like a Hulk Wolverine.
Yeah, he's
like an
rage
animalistic
monster.
Yeah.
Great movie.
It is.
There's a guy that could turn invisible only when nobody was looking if he was fully naked.
We'll watch the movie. It'll be good. We'll do a theater mode or something on it.
Sweet. Empty full.
Be fully empty.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Got it in
I
one.
couldn't remember what the definition was. So.
Good job.
Hey, Alex, you
Yo.
had a pretty funny story with your girlfriend recently that I really appreciated.
Which one was that?
You were listening to music in the car.
Oh, yes. We were listening to music in the car. I don't remember when this was, but basically I picked her up, and the one and only Idea and Abilities came on.
Oh.
And I made her be quiet for the song.
I can't remember if I shared the story on the podcast. One time it was Alex, Sarah, and myself. I was giving them a ride home, and Sarah was talking about rap music, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care about your rappers. And then Idea was about to say a verse. I just turned to the radio. I was like, oh, hold on. Idea's about to speak. I just wouldn't let her talk until Idea's verse finished. And then I turned out, I was like, okay, now you're allowed to talk. Yeah. Then Alex did the same thing to his girlfriend.
That's awesome. It's one thing to do it to Sarah, but to your girlfriend, that's a new step.
Hey, she appreciated it. It's all right. We're going camping over the weekend, and Steven's giving me the full Idea and Abilities and everybody related to Crush Kill Records. And is it Rhyme Slayers as well?
Rhyme Slayers, I have a bit of Blue Sky Black Death, a bit of everything. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Over 470 songs. We're bumping that the entire way there.
You're not going to get through all that.
No.
But it's going to be a quiet trip.
It's going to be great. You got some sad news, though.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Wallace and Gromit?
I am.
Yep.
You are? I knew Ben was, but I wasn't sure if you were, Steven.
Like, how familiar are you saying?
Have you seen the movies? Not just like Curse of the Were-Rabbit,
I don't know if I've seen Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I've seen a bunch of the shorts of the
like the half an hour shorts. Essentially.
yeah, where like they do. We'd sometimes like watch them in school and stuff. I watch them a bit on my own as well.
Okay.
There's like the weird pants one or whatever.
Yep. Wrong trousers.
Yeah, wrong trousers. I feel like there was some moon one.
Yep.
Was the penguin one of the shorts, or was that in the movie? Or is there several ones with the penguin?
The penguin one
Where
was
it was like
in
the glove
wrong
on
trousers.
his head, and that
Yeah.
was the trousers. Okay.
Yeah. That's because was it that he wanted to be a chicken, or that he was disguised as a chicken, or something like that? Was it?
Don't quite remember.
Yeah.
He was a criminal, wasn't he? Like the penguin
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
criminal,
he
so
was-
he had
he's a
to use
mastermind.
that as a disguise.
The moon one's called A Grand Day Out.
Okay, yeah. And then it's not Wallace and Gromit, but I've seen like Chicken Run and stuff as well. So.
Yeah. Same people, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, A Close Shave. That's one that I'm forgetting. And then there's
Yes, I've seen that one.
And then there's A Matter of Loaf and Death. There's a bunch of bakery stuff. It's the newest one that came out.
I
Wasn't
don't
that
think I'm
good?
familiar with that.
But essentially, the guy that did the voice for Wallace and Gromit, mainly Wallace because the dog never spoke, passed away recently.
Oh yeah,
That's all. So, it kind of hit me in the childhood when I heard about that.
In the gym today.
Yeah, my girlfriend sent me a text saying he's passed away because we had a conversation about it.
Make sure you're sitting down. But
Yeah.
like seriously.
Just
Oh,
a
yeah, that
heads up.
sucks.
I know, not cool. But oh well, his movies are great. Claymation is fantastic. I love it.
I loved Chicken Run.
It's a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen that movie in years, and whenever we talk about it, one of you always says how phenomenal it is. I'm like, I need to see this movie again.
Have you never seen it? Oh, you have seen it.
I've seen it once or twice, yeah.
Well, did you ever watch The Great Escape?
I think so. Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. 'Cause Chicken Run is essentially the claymation parody version of The Great Escape.
Okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
identical to like the numbers on the houses that they stayed in,
Oh, wow.
kind of deal. So
I remember watching it once when I was really young and getting freaked out because there's moments in the movie that are like sort of brutal, like when they butcher one of the chickens and
I thought you were talking about The Great Escape.
no, I'm talking about Chicken Run.
Okay.
Always. But man, remember how excited Julian would get when we talk about Chicken Run? Yeah.
That's right. Julian was the other one that, we were just like, man, like people always talk about how
Yeah.
wonderful this movie is. I'm like, I need to
Chicken
see it.
Run.
Yeah, it's so great.
But yeah, when I was a little kid, those moments freaked me out. And then like 5 years later, I watched it again when I was like a teenager, and I'm like, oh, this movie's dope. And I haven't seen it in years, but yeah,
I think we need to have a Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run night
yeah.
And Battle Royale.
and Battle Royale.
And Vengeance Trilogy.
That too.
We should watch Chicken on the Run and go get some chicken on the way.
Do it.
Wait,
Chicken on the Run.
Hey,
I
I
got
got what
confused
you're
my-
doing.
I confused myself.
Go watch Chicken Run and then get some chicken on the way.
And we'll call it Chicken on the Run.
Perfect.
I was when you were saying that, just like, wait, is there another movie? Like, what's Chicken on the Run?
I thought it would have got by, but I confused myself.
Yeah, no, let's do it. That'll be great.
Yeah.
That's like 10 more movies that we all need to
It is.
watch now, apparently.
Well, like the first 3 Wallace and Gromit are literally half an hour long.
Just do like a claymation night, do a foreign movie night, do a Kill Bill night, do
I still want to watch Kubo and the Two Strings.
I still want to see that as well.
Yeah.
Let's see how much it is on Amazon, shall we?
Perfect. Let's do it. You can go on the shelf with the rest of the movies that we need to watch.
This week in Amazon recommendations.
Yeah. But again, it's a cool claymation movie. They had to 3D print a bunch of this stuff to go and make it so accurate to like all the scenes, what they're trying to do, and it was CGI claymation almost, and they had to like move certain things like through essentially puppetry instead of just stop motion, like move a limb at a time.
Any luck over there, champ?
Yep, I'm about to buy it right now.
Nice.
How much?
$19.
Canadian dollars.
Oh yeah.
I've been dealing with a lot of foreign currency.
Yeah?
Yeah. So in Morocco, it's dirhams.
Ooh. What do they have on their money? Do they have any cool stuff?
The Moroccan dirhams all have the face of their leader,
Okay.
and like some of the hotels and stuff we were into, like big pictures of the face of their leader, like portraits.
Okay.
Nothing really that interesting, like maybe some landmarks and stuff, kind of like our money.
Yeah.
Um,
But they don't have like elk on the quarters like how we do. Kind of deal.
I never dealt in their coins. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I only dealt with like bills.
Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, an interesting thing with euro coins.
Hmm.
So when we were in Rome, I decided to go for a walkabout, and while I was walking, it was Republic Day, and it was very busy. and there were a lot of vendors and like street artists and stuff trying to sell stuff. And this one girl, and a few other people were doing this as well, but this one girl I noticed had a small table beside her with a bunch of medallions on it, like coin-sized medallions, and then a little table in front of her, like not even a square foot table in front of her with a little hole in it, and she had a little coping saw. And she was taking euros and cutting out the negative space in the patterns on the faces, if that makes sense. So like on one of the euros there's a tree, so she was just cutting out the background so that all you had left was the perimeter of the coin and the tree.
Okay.
And she was selling these things and like polish them and stuff, but she was selling them as like little trinkets or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, god damn, that's a lot of work, and they probably only sell for €1.
I was
Like,
gonna say for what they're worth.
yeah,
Interesting.
maybe a little more.
What's a coping saw for those that don't know?
Coping
It's like a
saw. It's
Skill
like
saw, almost.
no, a
Or
coping
a scroll saw. That's the word.
It's a little bit like a scroll saw. So it's essentially a picture handle and then put a C on top of it, like the letter C, and then in between the two ends of the C, put a very tiny blade.
Okay, so it's like a handheld scroll saw.
Yes.
Skill saw.
Yes.
Whichever one is called.
Skill saw is like a circular saw,
Yes, that's right.
but it's just that skill saw is a brand.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so like this little coping saw, and you do it for very fine work like that, and you can
Yeah.
detach the blade and like stick it through a hole or whatever. So they would drill holes, stick the blade through the hole, reattach it to the C, and then you can cut out very
Cut out the
delicate
bits.
things. Yeah,
Cool.
and they had like little files and stuff and like rasps.
So, did you buy any?
I didn't. I considered it, and I'm like, well, we're coming back tomorrow, so I'll if they're still here, I'll get one. And then we never went back. So.
This is why poor people are still poor, Ben.
So something that's interesting about euros and Moroccan dirhams is that the size of the bills are all different in length and in width. And I think it's for easy recognition, but
Mhm.
I don't like it because it's not easy for storage.
Yep.
Like I prefer with Canadian dollars that everything's the same size, but they're all very drastically different colors. So you can tell what you're grabbing out of your stack of money or like folded up money clip or whatever.
Are they wider than Canadian money?
No,
No, like the widest one.
maybe the widest one. Maybe
Okay.
the widest euro was, but everything just got smaller and smaller as it became less value.
Okay.
But yeah.
In England a long time ago, I don't think it's still now. Their money used to be like almost twice as wide as Canadian bills were.
Oh, really?
Like they used to be proper.
Big notes,
Yeah, essentially.
bank notes.
Which
I
is-
never dealt with any British pounds. Like
Really?
I never had to
to pull out any money or anything.
no, I never had to handle any of that. And a lot of the time I could pay with Visa or whatever because it's international.
Fair enough.
But I had a few dirhams, which were actually a gift from my parents from before I left. They gave me a bunch of money in the currency,
Okay.
so I didn't even lose out on an exchange rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 dirham is about a seventh of a Canadian dollar.
Found things expensive when you were traveling? Like, was stuff in Morocco, like, did you find that stuff seems like more expensive compared to here, or was anything cheaper? Kind of, what was your
I found
experience?
I found that in Morocco things I kind of found all over that things were a little bit cheaper. Especially in Morocco because their money is worth less than ours. But like I went into a shop and I wanted to buy just a regular shirt and a pair of pants. And it's all like Moroccan handmade, like just a local little shop. And the guy said, "Okay, we'll do 150 for the shirt and 150 for the pants. How's that sound?" And I'm like, "Okay, 300, that's fine, but part of the culture is also that you barter with the people, right? Because they offer it at a inflated rate." And I'm like, "Okay, can you do 250?" And he's like, "No, I can't do 250. I can't do it. There's no way. This is a good price for you though, 300. Like I know you make a lot of money or whatever." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just a working class dude in Canada, like whatever." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not doing anything more than 250, and he's just like, we'll do 280. I'm like, whatever, I'll get the discount, which translate to be like a couple dollars. So it was a big hassle for nothing really. And then but still, like 300 dirham divided by 7 is roughly 40 to 50 dollars for a good handmade shirt and pants, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty good price compared to what we have here. Like a pair of jeans here, just regular manufactured jeans, is like $40. You can get it for cheaper in some places, I know, but
Yeah, for sure.
and it was funny because Sarah's cousin was with us there too, and he got the same thing. He wanted this, like, the same shirt and the same pants, just a different color. And the guy's like, well, I just offered it to your friend here for 280, so can you do 280? He's just like, I'm not paying anything more than 200. And the guy's like, oh, come on, like, I just sold this one for 280. You can do 280. He's just like, nope, nothing less than 200. The guy's like, I really can't do 200. It's not enough. And the guy's like, all right, we'll see ya. And he turned around to walk out, and the guy's like, okay, we'll do 200. It's like this whole thing, and then afterwards they're like, oh, but suck it, Ben. Like, I saved 80 dirham, which is like not even $10.
Nice.
I hate bartering culture.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that's not our norm here in Canada.
Yeah. Well, they take advantage of that in certain places, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you were telling me earlier, Alex, that I can't remember where you said.
I was in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. And the people that were bartering, like the marketeers or the people at the markets, knew when the cruise ships would arrive, so they would increase or decrease their prices, or they would or wouldn't barter depending on when the cruise ships are in. Like if they hadn't been in a couple days, they would barter the hell out of it all. But if they knew the ships were in tomorrow, then they wouldn't barter because they knew they had a big flux of people coming in.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Like they could set any price.
Yeah, and
for
those people are used to seeing a price and being like, okay, that's what it is. I'm gonna pay that.
Yeah, they'll pay the 300 whatever dirhams for shirt and pants.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Which I wouldn't have minded paying, but I knew it was part of the culture, right? And I didn't want to seem like a little bitch.
Except for with bidets.
Yeah,
So you got to save your $1.75.
that's right.
Nice.
And like Sarah saw a necklace she really wanted, but she had no idea how to barter, and I think it was a little bit intimidating for her. So like,
Coming from Sarah, one of the most intimidating women that we know.
yeah, I know. But she's, I don't want to screw it up. I don't want to look foolish. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And she ended up getting her stepdad, who had done that a lot because he did a lot of backpacking around the area, like Africa and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And he just knew his way around people, basically. And he goes in and he like does the humming and hawing, and it's like, it's too much, it's not enough, blah 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 blah. And she ended up getting a pretty decent deal on a nice little necklace.
Sweet.
Yeah. At some point, like, it was intimidating for me too. I'm like, I've never done anything like this before, and like you're saying, it's like pretty uncomfortable to try to do that, right? But at some point, I'm just like, all right, fuck it, let's do this.
Yep. Well, as well, Sarah's cousin did the right thing and like just walked away.
Yeah.
And then the guy was like, no, I need to make this sale.
I say that's always why I heard, like, no, you go in with your price of, like, you have to be willing to walk away from per J negotiation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without it sounds like you're happy with your 280 dirham purchase.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yes.
like,
So yeah, in that case, like, okay, like, nobody lost it. Our guy was like, no, like 200. He was happy, just like, nope, if it's anything more than 200, then it's not worth it to him. So like, both of you guys walked out like fine, but
Yep.
even though they want to make fun of you for it.
yeah. Yeah. No, it was good. I ended up also getting a formal Moroccan dress.
Ooh.
So it's essentially like a cloak that a man wears with it has a pointy little hood on it. And it was really funny because we were in this dress store and we had a special Moroccan themed dinner that night, so everybody was getting their fancy dress. And I put mine on and put the hood up, and it's like a pointy hood, right? So Sarah's what is it? Gooba was there, and go listen to the previous episode if you want to know what that means. And she was just like, man, looks a lot like the KKK in here.
That's what I was thinking of when you said this. Like, wait, pointy hood. Like,
yeah, and it was so loud. And I looked at her and I was just like, no, don't say that. And she's like, but it does. I'm like, yeah, I know, but don't say it. Like, save that for, dinner tonight or something. Like, don't say it in this freaking store. We're a bunch of white people in here.
Yeah, especially in an African country. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't black people there
Oh, okay.
because it's North Africa. It's a lot more Arabic. Like, that's the language they speak in Morocco is Arabic and French, and a little bit of English for the tourists.
Isn't
Not trying to call you. I'm legitimately curious. Is it pronounced Arabic?
I thought it was Arabic.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Made
I
up
was just wondering,
tomorrow.
like, man, maybe I'm just been wrong the whole time. I don't know.
Well, do you call it Arabia?
It's Arabia.
It's Arabia.
Yeah.
You speak Arabic in Arabia.
Sure. Okay. I don't know.
That's my logic behind it.
Hey, there's some logic behind that. Have you seen Lawrence of Arabia?
No. I've seen
Fantastic.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Either way, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
There's a whole conspiracy behind that, but I won't get into it.
Hmm.
You mentioning your cloak or dress, whatever you want to call it, made me think of this. We need to bring back some clothing. Capes.
Mm.
I really think capes need to make a comeback.
And why do you think this?
No, they don't. Because capes are fantastic. Because if it's cold out, you can just wrap yourself up in your cape. Or if it's hot out, you can just let it flow majestically behind you. And it's always with you. But it's not have the weight of a jacket or like the nuisance of carrying one if it's too much.
Have you ever owned a poncho?
I own a poncho actually, but I've never worn it.
You should try wearing a poncho. It might give you the
Not a bad
same
idea.
cape experience.
Interesting. I'll look into it.
Look into your closet where your poncho is and
I don't know where it is now.
okay. Yeah.
I got one from Mexico, and I never wore it again after I bought it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There was one of the themed nights of the wedding was hippie night.
Did you just tie-dye your white outfit?
No.
That's a shame.
Before we went, I found a t-shirt that was blue tie-dye and had like a Red Hot Chili Peppers symbol on the front, like the asterisk in rainbow. I'm like, oh, this is
Awesome.
dope. And Sarah's stepdad in the market found an awesome pair of pants. So they're like handmade Moroccan pants, and they're all hippie themed. And I'm gonna grab them right now just to show you.
Those are fantastic. So to describe them, they look like they're about capri length. They're
that's just because they've shrunk.
Oh.
They're like regular.
They're black and white stripes, like
They kind of look like the Doppler effect
yeah,
with some extra color thrown in.
like vertical stripes, and then like the edges of them where the pockets are, and like the seam for the top belt almost area is just covered in colors. They also look like they're pajama pants. That would help. The pants are apparently inside out.
This is the Moroccan dress.
Okay, I thought that thing was gonna be a lot whiter.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Show you the hood.
Into hood now, boy. So when are you gonna wear all this stuff out to the clubs?
You look like a wizard.
You're a wizard, Ben. Is that a hole for pockets? Oh, you're supposed to wear clothes underneath it?
Yeah.
Oh, who does that? Little biscuit never hurt anybody. It's essentially like different sizes of stripes and different gradients of white to black, and there's a bit of gray in between, kind of deal. And then there is a very, very pointed hood. Looks kind of like Link's hood from Zelda. Looks good. Looks good. You should wear it to the bar sometime.
I might, but I also might get arrested.
Only if you actually wear it naked underneath.
Maybe. I love how the thing has holes for pockets, but they're not pockets. It's just a hole so you can reach your pockets.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
You get a nice breeze coming out the bottom of it. If you wear naked, champion.
A little bit in the hot weather. It's kind of nice.
Yep.
A lot of their clothes is very loose and floaty.
Absolutely. But it's long enough so it covers your body and you don't get burnt or anything.
Yeah. You said you were expecting white, and that was an option. But I'm just like, it's kind of boring. And the guy's just like, all right, you're a man of style. I like that. And then I'm just like, well, you pick my dress then. And he picked that one. And I have,
That is white and black and gray.
yes,
Okay.
that is my style. I wear a lot of black and gray. But I have a second one also that's dark gray with just solid black stripes on it. And that was actually Sarah's stepdad's. But he couldn't fit it in his luggage, and he got a white one that he liked more. And he's like, I'm never going to wear this. You can have it. So I'll probably give it to my dad as a gift.
Cool.
Yeah. All
Very
right.
cool.
Do either of you have a gravy boat?
I always have a gravy boat if we need one, but
Go for it.
alright. I'm actually gonna recommend somebody Alex doesn't like. But
So let's just define what this is quickly. Gravy boat is a song recommendation we have that is kind of lesser known, usually, sometimes not. But we have a playlist on our YouTube channel where you can find all our previous recommendations. We usually do one a show, sometimes two if we're feeling frisky. But Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
So, this is a guy named Isid, based out of Minnesota. Um, yeah, he's a rapper. He just did an album called "How to Fake Your Own Death." Uh, I'll say he did a music video for one of his songs called "Breaking Up with Death." No, hold on. I should have come better prepared.
You said I didn't like this guy?
I didn't think you liked him.
I liked him. You played him in the car the other day.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's dope. I didn't mind him because you showed me his
His
awesome-
crazy album cover.
yeah, his crazy album cover, which was I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the
Crazy?
Yeah, it's flipping mental.
So the
It looked like
album-
something. Sorry, it looked like something the Offspring would make.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
you can think
album
of
was
album
called
art.
Pheromone Heavy, and it's some like blindfolded girl like smelling some hairy dude's armpits, and then you open it up, and it's just like people in like animal masks, like naked people in animal masks.
Yeah.
Gangst.
If you
That's
if you open up the entire album and look at like the back cover and the front cover, it's like the entire chest of the man. And on the one side, it's the blindfolded woman. On the other side, it's like a weird fly thing with its like
It's like
hand
needles or
things.
something.
Yeah, it's either needles or it's like stuff going. It's utterly bizarre. You know what Steven was saying when we were listening to it. He's like, he's got some of the coolest and best lines there is, but like the rest of it is just like utterly bizarre that makes no sense at all.
Just
But for
random
like,
gibberish.
but for like 10
Like-
seconds, he's a lyrical genius.
Yeah. Well, like he's friends with like Idea and Christoph Crane, who are kind of known with being like sometimes a bit out there, or like, yeah, I'll just say that I really like their stuff, but his like sometimes I'm listening, I'm just like, whatever you're wanting to get across, like I have no idea what it is, but whatever, it's cool. The song I'm thinking of is "Breaking Up with Death" off his newest CD.
Okay.
But, that is not the CD we were listening to though in my car the other day.
No,
So-
no, it's not.
Breaking Up with Death by Isid, you said?
Esid, ECID.
C-I-D.
The song that we were listening to though, what was it? Fuck cars, I'm a teleport.
That's an awesome name.
Fuck a car, we teleport.
Fuck a car, we teleport.
Yeah, the chorus is "Fuck a car, we teleport. Fuck a car, we teleport at 24 speeds."
It's a great song.
I'm just like, I don't know what you mean by this, but I'm like, all right. And then like he has a bridge right after, and his bridge is sick. But like the hook, I'm just like, this is bizarre. And then his verse is awesome. So it's just like this is the weirdest thing in the world, but I can get down with it.
Man, over the course of this podcast, Steven's been looking more and more gangster. Like,
He's got his hat backwards now.
hats backwards.
My hat kept touching the pop filter and it was driving me up the wall.
The sleeve is riding up on your right arm.
Oh, yeah.
Your big arm,
His biceps being shown.
despite the fact that you're left-handed.
His tennis playing arm.
His mouse clicking arm.
Yeah.
You moved up so suddenly to say something like,
I
Yeah?
was gonna go
Oh.
somewhere, but I'm like, if you want to keep this joke going, I shouldn't bring up my thing.
no joke. It was a notice. But, yeah, Gravy Boat. That's our thing. We recommend songs and we put them in a playlist. So go check out our YouTube channel. And while you're there, check out our other singular playlist of season 1, Hastlecast
Yeah.
podcast. Go listen to all of that shit.
Yeah, I know. We made a
Except
bunch
for-
of references to last week of that appalling pile of episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that was a thing.
So what happened with 24?
That was
Or sorry.
25 for the first version.
Yeah, the first version of 25.
so we recorded it. We took a while for the mics and everything else to get set up. We synced the two computers together because we can't record all 4 mics on one computer essentially. So we sunk the two computers together, or what we thought. And then when I tried to edit them, as soon as I would sync, they would go out of sync right away. And the entire audio files would continuously echo through the entire thing. And I didn't want to spend like 5 hours going through and turning down the one to turn up the other every time each person spoke.
That's way too much work.
Also,
For this.
Rudy was not picked up at all past the first like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
he sat too far away from his mic. And Julian did as well, and I kind of did. But yet again, Steven's mic was perfect.
That is
Steve,
correct.
Steven knows what he's doing.
It was really funny, though, because Steven was like crammed in the corner and like awkwardly sitting, and his shirt was riding around him. It was really funny. That was that episode. And we did 2 gravy boats for that episode as well. Some safe words that might come back, or I might try and salvage something out of this episode, the lost episode.
I might take a look at it and see if we can piece something together,
Sure, sounds good.
but we'll see. If it's utter garbage, then maybe we'll just release it raw as a joke.
Yeah, that could be hilarious.
That's our April Fool's joke for next year.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Does April 1st fall on a Wednesday next year?
Probably not.
All right. Well, I think things are winding down here,
Well,
and
I am going to take one more aside. I was debating bringing this up, but I think I'm going to just because it's kind of funny. Which is a beef sauce for this week.
Oh shit!
Specifically,
what's beef sauce?
Sorry?
What's beef sauce?
Beef sauce is where we talk about dumb stuff we're not actually upset about, but it's fun to get upset about anyway.
Okay.
Sometimes we're upset about it.
Bring in the beef.
This week is about Ben and Alex.
Oh damn! What do
Mainly
we do?
because maybe it's more on Ben. I don't know. Alex is guilty by association.
Typical.
Mainly because we were talking about what time we're meeting up today, and Ben's like the usual time. So I show up nice at his house at 5:55 and find out I missed a call by him. I was like, oh, I should give him a call back, see what's up. Give him a call. He's like, yeah, we just left the gym, so we'll probably be at my house at 6:30 to 7. I was like, oh, well, great. It's like, okay, like maybe they'll rush, maybe they'll be here 6:30. Nope, 6:55. They're pulling up. I was like, oh, wonderful.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's all
I
good.
didn't realize you were aiming for 6. But
You said the usual time.
well, what time did I try calling you first?
5:43.
Oh,
I was already driving
you were
here.
already
That's why I
driving.
missed it.
I see.
Ben and I basically went to the gym, then we went to Smash Burger afterwards for dinner,
Yeah.
and then I had to run home to pick up the mics from my house to go all the way south to get to Ben's to set up, basically.
No, it's all good. It was just fine. Like I was saying here, when I got the call from Ben, last time this happened is that we were going to go to Alex's to record the podcast. So I'm just like, oh, we're probably going back up north. I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal because, hey, at least I'm close to home. Then I call him and he's like, oh, yeah, we're going to be there in like an hour. I'm like, crap.
Damn it.
That happened because when I said the usual time, I think 6 to 6:30, and it was around. Well, it was just before 6, so I'm thinking like, oh, he's probably still at home and eating or something, and then he'll make his way there for 6:30. Nope, you're always here at 6. So, okay.
Typical Steven.
My bad.
It's all good. Keeps things fun. Keeps it exciting.
It's so exciting sitting in your car waiting.
Gotta say though, I had a Butterfinger milkshake. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Ben was making some crude jokes about buttering fingers.
I can't believe it's not finger. Oh man, I had a good chuckle about that one.
Is that a reference to something?
Basically, it's penis and not finger.
As if I can't believe it's not butter and it's margarine instead. I can't believe it's not finger.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
All right, we're gonna call it there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Follow us on all our social media. We're on Twitter, YouTube. We have a email, hastlecast@gmail.com. And
Got a Dixtagram as well.
Instagram. That's right. Do we have a Snapchat?
No. I was thinking about that the other day.
Well, I'm not gonna operate it,
Okay.
but I do the Twitter, and well, a lot of people have access to all the social media. Alex is the Instagram and stuff.
Yeah. I just posted a photo right now.
Oh, good. Well, there you go.
Perfect.
That really applies to the episode that's coming out
It does.
in 2 days. But yeah, follow us on all that stuff. If you know how the internet works, you should be able to find it all. And everything is linked in the description in the YouTube video.
Yeah.
So
If you found the podcast, you can find our social media.
that's right. And if you're listening to us on iTunes or Google Play Music, give us a rating if you want, and make sure it's a good rating. Otherwise, don't bother.
How's that SoundCloud coming?
What? I've been on vacation, dude. I'm doing shit with SoundCloud. I'll try to look at that a little bit more this week.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, no.
That's
Thanks for
it.
having us, man. Glad you're back home safe.
Thank you.
It was
Yeah,
a
glad to hear it was a good
fantastic
trip.
episode catching up.
Yeah, there will be more stories in the next episode, likely. So,
Yeah, that's all right.
all right. Take it easy, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.